Well, food choices can have a big impact, not just on your physical well being, but also on the planet. Here to tell us about it is Alan Tilley. He's a professor emeritus at the University of North Florida and part of the Sierra Club's adaptation and restoration team. Good morning, Alan.
Good morning.
You are leading a project of the Sierra Club, something called the Planetary Health Diet. Can you explain to us what that is?
Well, it's an attempt to sort of live within our budget. We, if you think about the capacity of the earth to feed us well and to support our health, it's not unlimited. And we have made choices that don't serve us all that well. So in 2019, a group of 37 international geniuses devised this diet. And the question was, what sort of diet would serve human health and would be within the budget, that is, so that we could live on the resources of the earth and so that we could satisfy the needs of the population of the earth. There are about 1 billion hungry people. Well, if you can get the right diet and you can get it distributed well enough, then the earth should be able to feed those billion along with all the rest of us. So the diet that they devised is a flexible one. That's called flexitarian.
Flexitarian.
Yeah, that just means that it's not a rigid diet. It's not one of these things where you have to measure and count the calories and all that. You think of it as sort of a plate, and half of that plate is fruits and vegetables. So you'll eat half fruits and vegetables, and you get your protein from nuts and whole grains and beans. And then you have a couple of tablespoons of oil and a couple of tablespoons of sugar and some starchy vegetables. And you also get once a week you can have a modest serving, 4 ounces of beef, lamb, or pork. So you can have your quarter pounder, and you can get 2 servings a week of chicken if you like, 2 servings of fish. You can have a couple of eggs a week, and you can have a glass of milk or a piece of cheese a day. So it's modest servings of meat and dairy, and the earth can support that, and that'll support human health. And those are optional. My personally, I don't exercise the meat. I do exercise some of the dairy, the seafood. I'm glad I was a vegan for a long time. Not anymore. Now I'm a planetary health diet or whatever.
Right.
Whatever. There must be a nice
Well,
name.
why is it important? I mean, we know that the production and the consumption of things like beef can be harmful creators of greenhouse gases. They can be harmful for
Yes.
human health. Why was it important for the people who created this planetary health diet to include some, meat proteins?
Well, what they were doing was try to adapt it to any culture, try to adapt it to the widest possible audience. And there are a lot of people who need or think they need to eat the meat and dairy. And so, how much can the earth support? Well, it can, you don't have to. You can be a vegan on this diet and be perfectly legal,
Hmm.
planetary health diet follower. But you have the option. It's just up to you. You don't get any extra points for not exercising the option.
So you talk about how this is created to help keep people healthy, to keep the planet healthy. You also talked about 1 billion people who are undernourished right now.
Hmm.
Is the idea that if people were eating according to this planetary health diet, that it would in fact be sustainable for the planet?
It would indeed. We have about a third of our greenhouse gas emissions go to agriculture. About over a third of those are for animal agriculture. We will not be able to solve our our climate problem unless we change our diets. This is absolutely necessary.
One other element of this diet, I guess, is trying to limit overconsumption and food waste.
Yes,
So you say it's not like you have to measure things out, but it does encourage people to eat in moderation,
yes, that's right.
and also to be eating what they've served themselves and not throwing
Yeah,
it away.
that's right. Food waste is just as important as the diet. The put together, the best thing you can do, the most effective climate action is to follow this diet or to follow a diet which is within the budget of the earth. It's better than an electric car. It's better than a solar array on the roof by far. It's by far, hands down. And it's just about as important that we handle food waste. We've got a program that the Sierra Club is putting on at Tree Hill on this weekend. It's 9:30 to 12:30 on Saturday. And the idea is the power of one. That is, what can one person do that'll really make a difference? The diet's a big deal on that, and so I'm going to talk about that. Logan Cross, who's our chair of the local Sierra Club and also chair of Renew Jacks, is going to talk about how we can make a difference in trying to promote renewable energy in Jacksonville. And Lorene Husband, who's vice president of the public policy and community engagement at Feeding Northeast Florida, is going to speak on food waste, what we can do ourselves to reduce food waste. Rhonda Gracie, horticulturalist and landscape designer at UNF, and won the 2022 Florida Nursery Grower and Landscape Association Outstanding Educator of the Year award, will speak on the power of our yards, what we can do about what we're growing in our yards that will help adapt us to the budget of the earth.
It sounds like a great event. It's at Tree Hill. It's Saturday, March 29th. I understand there'll also be some plants for sale and a guided tour of Tree Hill.
We're going to have the whole thing. It sounds like we're going to have a lot of talking. There won't be much of that, but it's kid friendly. The talking is going to be in the amphitheater, but we'll have all sorts of handouts and information. We'll have refreshments. We'll have if you want to pet some goats, there'll be some goats and pigs who are just looking
Excellent.
forward to being petted.